All right, so we're back and ready for another deep dive. And this time it looks like we're headed to Norway.
Yeah, Norway. It's a country that most people probably think of, fjords, northern lights, that kind of thing.
Stunning scenery for sure.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling there's a lot more to discover than just pretty pictures.
Oh, absolutely. There's a ton of interesting stuff in these sources. We're going to uncover some surprising facts about Norway in the next few minutes.
Sounds like a plan. Let's dive in. What's the first thing that jumps out at you from all this material?
Well, one thing that really struck me is the sheer contrast you find in Norway, like geographically and culturally. It's a place of extremes in a way.
Extremes. Okay, I like it. Tell
Yep.
me more.
Well, for starters, think about the natural extremes. Like up in the far north of Norway, you've got the midnight sun.
Midnight sun. That sounds pretty epic.
Oh, it is. From late May to late July, the sun literally never sets. It's daylight 24/7.
Wow. I can't even imagine. That must have a huge impact on life up there.
Definitely. It affects everything from daily routines to social life, even how people think about time.
I bet. And then on the flip side, you've got,
The polar night. Yeah. During the winter months, the sun doesn't rise at all for a period of time.
so it's like the opposite extreme. Total darkness. It's amazing how diverse one country can be.
It is. And that's just the natural environment. Then you've got the cultural innovations and traditions.
Which reminds me, we have to talk about skiing. Did you know Norway is considered the birthplace of modern skiing?
I did. It makes sense, though, when you think about their landscape and climate.
And get this, the word ski itself comes from Old Norse, meaning split wood or wooden stick.
So basically, what started as a practical way to get around in the snow turned into a global sport.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool how something so simple could have such a lasting impact.
Definitely. And it speaks to that ingenuity and connection to nature that you see in Norwegian culture.
Speaking of ingenuity, they've got some impressive engineering feats over there too, like the Lurtle Tunnel.
The world's longest road tunnel.
Right, it's
Yeah.
the one.
Ugh.
Over 24 kilometers long, connecting Lærdal and Arland.
I read that they even have these special blue-lit caverns inside the tunnel to help prevent driver fatigue.
Isn't that interesting? It's like they considered the psychological impact of driving through such a long tunnel.
Yeah, it's not just about functionality, it's about well-being, too.
Okay, so we've got stunning landscapes, extreme natural phenomena, and engineering marvels.
Yeah.
What else is there to know about Norway?
Well, we can't forget about the natural power of the ocean.
Ah, yes. I read about this, the Saltstraumen Maelstrom.
One of the world's strongest tidal currents. It's located near Bodo.
Can you imagine witnessing that firsthand? The sheer force of nature?
It must be incredible. I bet it's been a source of fascination and maybe a little fear for sailors throughout history.
I could see why. And speaking of history, we have to mention the Vikings.
Of course, Viking traditions are still very much alive in Norway today.
Yeah, they have museums of reconstructed Viking ships, even historical reenactments.
It seems like they really embrace their heritage and want to keep those traditions alive.
Absolutely. It's a big part of their national identity. Now, for something completely different, are you familiar with brunost?
Brunost? Is that the brown cheese?
The one and only. It's a Norwegian specialty with a unique caramel-like flavor.
I've heard about it but never tried it. What's it made from?
Actually, it's often eaten with waffles or crisp bread.
Interesting. So they take a byproduct of cheese making and turn it into another delicious food.
Exactly. It's all about resourcefulness and creativity in the kitchen.
I love that. So we've covered nature, history, culture, and even food. What else is there?
Well, we can't wrap up without mentioning something truly unexpected. Norway's got a king penguin who's an official mascot.
Wait, what? A penguin?
You heard right. His name is Sir Nels Olav, and he lives at the Edinburgh Zoo in Scotland.
And he's the mascot for the Norwegian Royal Guard. How did that even happen?
It's a long story, but he's been knighted and even promoted to brigadier. It's one of those quirky things that makes Norway so unique.
That is definitely unexpected, but it's also kind of endearing.
It is. It shows that they don't take themselves too seriously and have a good sense of humor.
So in a nutshell, Norway's got it all. Incredible natural beauty, cutting-edge engineering, rich history, fascinating culture, and even a knighted penguin.
Exactly. Who would have thought? It makes you wonder how one country can balance such ancient traditions with modern advancements and still have room for these delightful quirks.
It's a pretty impressive combination, and it definitely makes me want to learn more about Norway.
Me too. Well, that's all the time we have for our deep dive into Norway today.
Thanks for taking us on this journey.
Of course. And thank you for sharing these amazing sources with us. Until next time.